Hello everyone, this is Urvashi Chauhan. Welcome to Courts Today by Livelaw, where we bring you the latest developments from all courts across India. Let us start. Starting with an update from the Supreme Court, which today imposed a cost of 3 lakh rupees on former IPS officer Sanjeev Bhatt while dismissing his 3 petitions alleging bias and unfairness against the presiding judge who is holding the trial in the alleged drug planting case against him. In one petition, he challenged the order passed by bench of Justice Sameer J. Dave dismissing a petition to transfer the trial to the court of senior-most additional sessions judge at Manaskanthala, alleging bias on the part of the present trial judge, who is the 3rd additional sessions judge. Another petition was filed against another order by a bench of Justice Sameer J. Dave, rejecting the petition to audio-video record the trial proceedings. And the 3rd petition was filed against the order by a bench of Justice Geeta Gopi, dismissing his petition to summon 19 witnesses. Senior advocate Devdutt Kamath, appearing for Bhatt, submitted that one application was filed to summon 19 witnesses who were cited by the prosecution but were dropped at the time of examination. Obviously, because these witnesses were inconvenient for the prosecution, and that is why they were dropped. He further said that the prosecution took 3.5 years to examine witnesses, and his plea could not be seen as an attempt to delay the trial. But the bench, comprising Justices Vikram Nath and Rajesh Bindal, was not inclined to entertain the matter due to the fact that Bhatt has been repeatedly approaching the courts. In February this year, the Apex Court rejected his challenge to the High Court direction to expedite the trial with a cost of 10,000 rupees. Today, the court imposed cost of rupees 1 lakh each on the 3 petitions. The cost has to be deposited to the Gujarat High Court Advocates Welfare Fund. Let me also tell you that Bhatt is at present serving life imprisonment in another case, a custodial death case of 1990, after his conviction in July 2019. The Supreme Court bench, comprising Justices Aniruddha Bose and Bela M. Trivedi, today heard the petition filed by former Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister N. Chandrababu Naidu, challenging an order passed by the Andhra Pradesh High Court last month declining to quash the FIR against him in connection with the skill development scam case. Naidu was arrested on 9th September by the state's Crime Investigation Department and has been in custody since. During the hearing today, the bench raised questions about the applicability of Section 17A of the Prevention of Corruption Act when the offence was committed prior to the 2018 amendment, which inserted 17A. The bench also asked if 17A was applicable when the FIR mentions not only offences under the Prevention of Corruption Act, but also the offences under IPC. Naidu's lawyers argued that 17A was applicable when the inquiry starts after the 2018 amendment, even if the offences are prior to it. On the other hand, the state claimed that the inquiry had started before 2018. The bench then asked if there were documents to show that the inquiry had started before 2018. Senior advocate Mukul Rohtagi, appearing for the state, agreed to produce the relevant documents. Accordingly, the court listed the matter for 9th October and asked the state to produce the entire compilation of documents filed before the High Court. Do visit our website to read the courtroom exchange. Coming to an update on the Krishna Janmabhoomi Shahi Idgah Mosque dispute. As you know that in 1968, a compromise agreement was brokered between the Temple Management Authority and the Trust Shahi Masjid Idgah, allowing both places of worship to operate simultaneously. However, the validity of this agreement has now been doubted by parties seeking various forms of relief in court with respect to the Krishna Janmabhoomi. In May this year, the Allahabad High Court had transferred to itself all the suits pending before the Mathura Court, praying for various reliefs pertaining to this dispute. This transfer order has been challenged in the Supreme Court by the Mosque Committee. Today, the bench of Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Sudhanshu Dhulia was hearing the matter. The court issued a firm reminder to the Allahabad High Court's registry to send requisite information and documents regarding the dispute, which is currently being heard by the High Court. While adjourning the hearing until 30th October, the court also instructed the previous order to be placed before Chief Justice Pritinkar Divakar on the administrative side to ensure proper response, and the concerned registrar to be personally present in court on the next day of hearing. Importantly, the Mosque Committee's lawyer, Advocate Tasneem Ahmadi, told the court that filing of the suits praying for various reliefs with respect to the land dispute was a recent occurrence motivated by outsiders, even though different religious communities have lived in the region in communal harmony for the last 50 years. In another update, the Supreme Court today refused to entertain a petition seeking directions to be issued to Delhi State Advisory Board for Animal Welfare to ensure that no cattle markets are held in Delhi without obtaining prior lawful permission on the occasion of Bakra Eid. Apart from this, petitioners sought for direction to strictly implement and enforce provisions of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals rules of 2017. The SLP was filed against the Delhi High Court's order which dismissed the plea. Before the High Court, petitioner had submitted that during Bakra Eid, goats, sheep, bullock will be mercilessly butchered throughout the country in the name of sacrifice during this festival. It was further stated that cattle markets are held at various places without obtaining prior permission of the administration. However, the High Court had dismissed the said writ petition, granting liberty to the petitioner to approach back the court by showing specific instances of violation of the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals rules. Today, the Supreme Court bench, comprising Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Sudhanshu Dhulia, was hearing the SLP against the High Court order. The bench categorically told the petitioner to approach the appropriate authorities under various acts, including the Food Safety Act. The petitioner, appearing in person, clarified that he had already made representations before the authorities and no action had been taken so far. But the court made it clear that it would not interfere and the High Court's jurisdiction was final. Pursuant to this, the petitioner expressed his inclination to file a review petition before the Delhi High Court and withdrew his petition. The Supreme Court has dismissed a plea seeking the construction of a wall at the Ram Setu site so that everyone can have its darshan. You must have heard about Ram Setu. Also called Adam's Bridge, it is a natural formation of limestone shoals connecting India's Rameshwaram island to Sri Lanka. It holds religious significance in Hinduism as it is believed to be built by Lord Ram in the epic Ramayana. The issue seeking declaration of Ram Setu as a national heritage was raised by Dr. Subramaniam Swamy in his 2007 plea against the Setu Samundaram ship channel project. Under this project, an 83-kilometer long channel was to be created linking Mannar and Park Strait by extensive dredging. The project was alleged to have an impact on the Ram Setu. The matter has been earlier mentioned by Dr. Swamy on a number of occasions. Previously, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta had also informed the Supreme Court that the process to consider national heritage status for Ram Setu was underway in the Ministry of Culture. The present plea was filed by Hindu Person Law Board through Advocate Ashok Pandey, who prayed to declare Ram Setu as a national monument and to construct a wall at the Ram Setu site. The petitioner requested the bench, comprising Justices Sanjay Kishan Kaul and Sudhanshu Dhulia, to tag the petition along with the pending petition filed by Dr. Swamy. However, the bench categorically declined to do so, stating that the same was an administrative matter and the petitioner should instead approach the government. The Supreme Court today ruled in favor of a candidate with cerebral palsy, declaring him eligible for reservation under the Persons with Disabilities, that is PWD Act, for admission in the MBBS course. The bench, comprising Justices S. Ravindra Bhatt and Arvind Kumar, was dealing with two petitions by candidates seeking MBBS admissions under the PWD quota. They were not cleared by the Medical Board of Admission. As far as the petitioner named Gaurav is concerned, he had approached the Supreme Court after facing rejection by Aurangabad bench of the Bombay High Court. Upon receiving the SLP, the Supreme Court issued a directive to AIIMS to establish an expert board to evaluate the petitioner's condition. The initial opinion rendered by the expert board was cryptic and lacked clear reasoning, leading the Supreme Court to deem it insufficient. The court expressed dissatisfaction with the board's report as it failed to provide adequate grounds for rejecting the petitioner's claim. Then, in response to the court's directive, the expert board reconvened and submitted a revised opinion. In this revised opinion, the board declared the petitioner eligible for reservation under the PWD Act. As far as the second petitioner, named B. Sagar, is concerned, the court noted that the report has been received from the board of experts and has listed the matter on 9th October. Stay tuned. And now coming to an important update from the Delhi High Court, which observed that where the trademarks in a suit pertain to food items or eateries where food items are served, a higher degree of care and caution has to be observed. Justice C. Harishankar observed that running an eating house using a mark which is deceptively similar to a reputed mark does not speak well for the enterprise concerned. The court made these observations while permanently injuncting an eatery, Dominic Pizza, in a trademark infringement suit filed by Domino's. Domino's had sought injunction against Dominic Pizza having 3 outlets, that is 2 at Ghaziabad and 3rd in Punjab. Justice Shankar restrained Dominic Pizza from advertising, selling or marketing any product, packaging, menu cards and advertising material using the marks Dominic Pizza, Cheese Burst or any other mark identical or deceptively similar to Domino's. The court observed that Domino's Pizza and Dominic's Pizza were deceptively similar to each other and that the matter has to be viewed from the perspective of a customer of average intelligence and imperfect recollection who is not over familiar with one or the other. The court also directed Dominic Pizza to pay 6,57,000 to Domino's. To read the matter in detail, you can visit livelaw.in. And lastly, the Bombay High Court has taken suo motu cognizance of inaccessibility of footpaths to differently abled in Mumbai owing to the recently installed bullets. Last week, Advocate Jamshed Mistry mentioned an email sent to him by a differently abled person, Karan Shah. Shah asserted that he was wheelchair bound since birth. He claimed the poles and bullets recently installed by the municipal corporation on every footpath have rendered them inaccessible to him. The division bench, comprising Chief Justice Devendra Kumar Upadhyay and Justice Arif Doctor, also perused the pictures attached to the email and observed that one of the photographs depicted that the distance between the poles was so little that it made it impossible for the wheelchair to pass through. The end result was that even though these poles have been installed to ensure inter alia, the footpaths are safer and more conducive to use for those who are differently abled, but in fact they cannot. The court then directed the High Court Registry to issue notice to the municipal corporation, returnable on 18th October. Thank you for joining us. If you wish to know more details about the cases I mentioned here, you can visit our website at www.livelaw.in. Stay ahead with quick legal updates only on Live Law. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe and support us. You can also support us by donating through the thanks button at the bottom of our videos or consider becoming a member at just 89 rupees per month.